We want to get out to Athens.
Yeah.
That's where Zach Merchant is, and we know that there have been some adjustments made already up there. We know a lot of folks work or attend school at the University of Georgia, and we know that that decision has been made. But Zach, what are you seeing there, which maybe has kind of reinforced that decision?
You know, the weather right now, not too wet. We've kind of had these rounds of more intense cold rain coming down on us right now. A little bit of a drizzle, but nothing too wild on top of us right now. Actually, we can take a couple steps this way, though. Just a moment ago, we were talking about, and y'all in the studio were talking about the impact of the water that's on the ground and what will happen if the temperatures go lower. You can see, on the road still, we have these troughs of a little bit, and this is obviously, we're running into a drainage ditch here, so I don't want it to seem like that's what the roads look like all over Athens, but you do wonder in spots where there is a little bit of pooling water, what happens overnight? Does it freeze? Right now, the good news though, if you look at the roads here, particularly this more main road through downtown Athens, you see a truck moving up the hill, maybe a little faster than we would like, candidly, but we're at the corner of Broad and Hull Street. The main road there, treated pretty well. We've seen a couple series of GDOT trucks moving through here, salting, brining. They've got the plows down, and that's been all according to plan. We've heard the press conferences from GMA. We've been talking in constant communication over the last couple days with the emergency management folks here in Clarke County and in Oconee County right next door. And they say it's been an idea to just keep going at it, wave after wave after wave of treating these roads. And it is so. Folks, if you gotta be on the roads, you can get where you need to go safely, but they keep asking people too, if you do not need to be on the roads, we hope these people do, because folks are asking if you don't need to be on the roads, stay off the roads. We've seen a lot of UGA students. Jennifer, you mentioned class is off on Monday. That means a 3-day weekend for college students, which is always welcome news if you are a student. We talked with one sophomore earlier today about how he is getting through this chilly weekend.
I came ready. I'm from Atlanta, so we don't really get much snow here in Georgia, but I've been boarding a few times a little bit, so my brother, when I went back to Atlanta this weekend, just got back last night. I brought the gear back with me, got the boarding pants, the boots, and the Carhartt, so we're ready for some nice warm weather, and
you're prepared.
I'm prepared.
They say there's no such thing as bad weather, but there is bad gear. He made that point really clear. And we should point out, too, a lot of the UGA students we've seen here, they've been following the advice of emergency officials. They've been walking. They're college students. They're making the most of a chilly weekend here, but doing it in a safe way. And I think that is certainly what all of the first responders, the government officials who we've been talking to throughout the weekend would be happy to see. Just a little bit before we came on air here, I got a text from the Oconee County EMA director who said, so far, all good. And that is good news, not just for us that we're out here, it's good news for everybody here in Clarke County, and most importantly for the first responders who have to be on the roads, just like this fire truck here. People doing a good job of giving them the space they need to do the job, to respond where they are needed. You heard that so far so good message. We are very hopeful that it's going to stay that way throughout the rest of the night, guys.
You know what? This is really important that you point that out there, Zach, because we have learned that 70 to 80% of the vehicles that would normally be on the roadway on Sundays, they're not out there. So it's down a huge percentage point. As far as power outages, have you heard anything about power outages up there in that area, that neck of the woods?
Nothing noticeable from where we are right now, and from the EMA directors, they have not pointed to any significant points of concern. I don't want to say definitively that there is nothing. I haven't looked at the outage map in a few moments, and perhaps somebody back in the newsroom could check me on this. But from our vantage point, good news to report, we haven't seen anything of great concern on that front. And again, the question is what happens overnight. If you look at the trees here, you can probably see behind me, there is a significant gloss of ice on these limbs here. We haven't seen any real bowing too much at this point, but you wonder overnight if that will continue to be the case. You certainly hope that everything will be okay, but whenever you see ice on tree limbs like that, tree limbs get heavy when there's ice on them, and there's the risk that it'll snap off into places like power lines where you really don't want them to be colliding. We hope that the good news continues here, though. That is the hope, that is my hope, and I'm sure everybody shares that hope.
Oh, yeah, we all share that hope that everyone stays safe and the power stays on. Thanks a lot, Zach.